they could have possibly gotten more wrong with the Arizona scandal or not scandal or whatever's going on in the desert. We'll talk about it. Astros have tanked for several years. Now they're World Series champs. Mike, how did the Lions not get any star back from last year's draft? Breida, Kamara, Cook, etc. They didn't take anybody. That's how. David and I were damn near praying at the altar for Dalvin Cook. They didn't do it. I don't know what to say. The people that don't think the NBA are popular are the same people that are being put into a coma by watching a 3-hour baseball game. I would agree. Baseball's a very old sport. That's a 50 and up sport. Now, I love baseball. I always have. But I'm atypical. That's an old man's game. Only in Detroit do people think that the NBA is not popular. Hockey Town is a joke. Go anywhere else, the NBA rules. I wouldn't say rules. Let's see, what else here? Totally agree on the NBA hate versus other leagues. Hockey players fight. They're tough. NBA players fight. They are thugs. That's from Zach. No better game in the world. Baseball's dead. NFL too political. NHL's dying. Basketball is the sport. Listen, I'm not going to get into one of these wars between leagues. I think it's hilarious when people say no one watches basketball. It's just not accurate. It's ridiculous. The ratings are through the roof television-wise. Quick update for bracket people. 5 Hour Energy's got a new way to do the brackets so you don't get bounced early. So what they're doing, I think it's pretty cool. You can switch your pool to the 5 Hour Energy brackets, change your picks live. It's like what Sully does at the D, where he waits until 10 minutes left in the game and then places a live bet, essentially. You can change up until the 4-minute mark, so you got one wrong, the upset's going to happen, you can flip it. But the catch is, the later you flip it and lock in, the less it's worth. But it's a new way to play your brackets. I think it's a hell of an idea. 5 Hour Energy, you can check it out, 5hourenergybrackets.com. All right, let's get to the callers. Then I'll update the latest ESPN debacle / muckraking nonsense. We go to Joe up next. What's up, Joey?
Hey, how's it going, Mike? Love the show.
Thanks, dude. What's up?
All right, so just talking about the old NBA tanking idea, and I guess I'm definitely in the minority because the numbers are so high right now. But I just can't see it being this way going down the line. And I know Adam Silver has to be in the position where he's got to put a kibosh on the whole tanking as a whole and being kind of adopted by the NBA.
What do you want to do?
That's the question. Is I think that you can't bash him for thinking about it. I mean, take it overseas, and I was thinking, if you wanted to go real out of the box for it, have it like English Premier League and have different leagues that you're going into. But that's going to be
you're never going to see a relegation promotion concept in the United States of America.
That's true.
Now,
and
I wish we would, because I think it'd be hilarious to see Stan Van Gundy relegated to the G League. It's not going to happen.
Because I think it's having an authentic rebuild. I accept that. I say, all right, if you're not going to do it, sell off anyone good. Bring it a bunch of have me and you jump on the team. We'll wear Spartan gear and all that. We can play with NBA. We'll be terrible. We'll lose every game.
Right.
They can get their draft picks. But I just think that he's got to put a top on it, because I think there's an authentic rebuild, and then there is something that you have to be careful of. You've got to be careful of purposeful tanking with teams that could be a B+, a B team, and
but hold on.
like C-.
But see, I don't think that happens, Joe. When you look at these teams that are losing games, you're just putting teams out there that even when they play their best are incapable of winning. And generally speaking, young teams are complete flops in the NBA. A lot of it takes care of itself. I don't think players go out and don't try. Like a great example, right, Joe? You got bikes. You got an Eric Moreland, right? Let's say the Pistons were trying to lose. Those guys are still going to play their asses off. They're fighting for their professional lives. It's just that Bikes and Moreland aren't any good. Their best is never going to be good enough to win enough games to not be terrible. That's all it is. A combination of young draft picks that are going to be a part of your future and then other guys to fill out the roster who aren't, that's not tanking. No one's going out there not trying. It's just the assembling of talent that is nowhere near good enough. Look at Phoenix. Phoenix has had some high picks. They've done okay on some of them, Devin Booker leading the way. But then they've got, Marquise Chris, Dragon Bender, who's like 19 years old. They're not ready to win. Phoenix has some vets. They've got some guys. Guess what? They're never going to be able to go out and win a ton of games. You know what they need? They need to land the number 1 pick this year and get a Luka Doncic. Go out and get an Ayton. Now, all of a sudden, Phoenix can look different. It's the same thing with Philly. I remember the year they drafted Saric. People were up in arms. Oh, my God, you tanked and you took a player who's not going to be here for 2 years. They were right. Saric's a really nice stretch 4. Everything they did, there was a plan. The only reason it took a little longer in Philly, they drafted Saric, took 2 years. They drafted Embiid, knowing he wouldn't play his rookie year. Again, it took a little bit longer. But if you do it right, I mean, it's to me, it's the only way. But you know the Pistons aren't doing it. So, okay, if you don't want to tank, here's your future. Am I crazy? I got a weird feeling they're going to beat Milwaukee tonight.
I was looking at it earlier. It's Pistons minus 1.5
No.
too, and I thought it was kind of weird.
They're favored?
Pistons minus 1.5. Yeah.
Oh, see, my spidey sense is right then.
Yeah.
Milwaukee on that back-to-back. Pistons, they were down 30 against Charlotte. They were down 30 against Toronto. They're still adults. They come home. I think it's the only home game they got in the next 3 or 4. I don't know. I don't want them to win. I want Stan gone. If that means they got to lose every game, then lose every game. I don't give a damn.
I thought it was weird. I look at all the Vegas lines every morning, and I thought it was.
Oh my God.
It was strange. I was surprised by it.
Mike, Milwaukee back-to-back on the road. Mm-hmm. It's not strange. Pistons.
Well,
rested
I didn't
home.
resonate that they went back to back.
You always got it. That to me is the biggest. Like the NBA, you know the deal. If a team is at home off a day off against a back-to-back road, home team damn near 99% of the time is gonna be favored.
But the Bucks were also down big and came back in the game.
And they're probably exhausted.
So exactly. So
full compliment tonight for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure Jabari's knee isn't sore. I'd like to see the Bucks at full strength. They're fun to watch. We'll see. Let's go over to Mike, 97.1. Mikey, what's going on, bub?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good.
When it comes to tanking, I agree with you. And we have everything in place to tank. We keep staying one more year because we're not getting a draft pick this coming up draft.
Right.
Keep staying one more year. This team is going to be so bad that we don't have to tell them to tank because they're going to be just that bad. They're going to be horrible.
Michael, this team will never be below 35 victories. And in order to tank appropriately, in order to get a top 3, top 4 pick, you got to be under 25 wins.
Well, don't you think if we keep staying as a coach and the team we have now, we're looking at maybe 15, 20 wins next season?
No, because you still have too many guys that are professional players. Reggie Jackson is still an NBA player. Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, those are guys, they're pros. You're going to go out and win at least 35 games. Now, look, if something crazy happened and you had catastrophic injury to 2 of your 3, maybe we could talk about it. You really do me a favor, right? I've always joked around about this with the guys. Like if I just asked you when you were on the phone there, hey, name 3 Atlanta Hawks, not name Dennis Schroeder. You couldn't do it. Name 3 Memphis Grizzlies that aren't Marc Gasol. You couldn't do it. God, name 3 Phoenix Suns. It's like, dude, you don't understand how bad these rosters are. So you're caught in no man's land. You really are. 248-539-9797. I'll update you on ESPN stuff. We'll get a few more to calls and then reset everything at 5. Everyone hates to see crabgrass in the summer.